Great. So previously in Tyranny of Dragons, you materialized at Helm's Shield Hall and immediately were attacked by 3 priests. Helm's Lawmaker, the other one was the High Guardian, and a priest named Odul. These 3 were convinced that you are demon worshippers, and they accused you of the murder of Mordai Vel. After a short fight, you yielded, and Thokk was taken to further interrogation by the guards. You tried to convince the priest that your intentions are good, but they weren't convinced. Basically, you had a very, very bad streak of die rolls. The Lawmaker decided to throw you all into the dungeon and interrogate you later. At the dungeon, Azael, Roscoe, and Tal, you were approached by a woman named Jahandra. She claimed her daughter, Dara, had visions about you and the monster you need to basically banish. Jahandra released you from your cell, and basically after you promised not to hurt her daughter, you subdued the guards, broke into the vault, and took the flask that was stored there. At that point of time, Dara appeared, and her appearance drew out the soulmonger from Azael's body, basically tearing Azael's chest open. You fought the demon while Roscoe tried to both find the flask and save Azael's life by attaching the mechanical heart that he found next to the gates of hell. You managed to trap the demon in the flask, and Roscoe managed to save Azael's life, but he refused to give Dara's name to Kikimora as promised. So basically the flask ended up at Dara's possession, and you all fled the temple just in time to basically avoid the guard. So you are all out of the temple's walls with Jahandra and Dara next to you. Azael is basically in great pain. The wound may be healed, but there's something very unnatural, replacing his heart. And Thokk is basically still locked up in somewhere in the temple, and this is where we left last time. So Thokk,
Yes, sir.
you were taken by the guards, and instead of taking you down to the dungeons as you expected, the guards hauled you up, and you found yourself in a chamber that looks very, very comfortable. There's a wooden plating to the walls. There is one window, but with heavy curtains on it. And the guards, when they leave, the temple's lawmaker enter. You are bound. They bound your hands behind your back, and he looks at you and says,
"Well, it is time. You are to tell me everything."
And he goes up to this small desk, retrieves a flask and a glass of wine. He pours himself wine. He turns around to you, looking at you and sipping his wine. What do you do?
Oh, okay. What do you want to know?
I want to know, what demon are you working for?
I don't know any demons. I was looking for my friend in Greenest, and I met these others there, and the leader at Greenest asked us to go to talk to a wizard to call for help because they were being attacked by cultists. And when we went to talk to the wizard, he said he couldn't help because his wife had the key to his spellbook. And when we went to where he said his wife was, there was this big spider that tried to eat us, and we had to kill it. And when we went back down to tell him this, he didn't believe us, and we had to take him up and show him. And he was acting kind of weird.
The lawmaker burst out, almost choking on his wine.
Lies! You are working for a demon. You were sent there to kill him. We have seen it.
No. Talk to the people at Greetus. They'll tell you they sent us there.
Oh, I see. We'll have to extract the truth from you. I'm very sorry for this.
And he goes back to the chamber's door. He locks it. And then he presses a panel on one of the chamber's walls, and a secret door slides open. He reaches out into the compartment that was opened after the secret door was opened, and he pulls out a wagon. It's a very small one. Looks like a drinks wagon or something like that, but it has this piece of cloth wrapping it. He positioned the wagon just in front of you and speak a word of command. So behind you, there's next to the window and the curtain, there is this place to put the coats. So this wooden item basically animates and wraps his handles and sticks around you to hold you tight. So you're basically kind of tied up to this pole. Then the lawmaker reveals, he takes the cloth off, and what you can see is that this wagon has various metal plates, like sterile metal plates, and on top of each plate there are 3. You can see, like, dentist tools, knives and screws and pliers and all kinds of very, very unpleasant looking devices. And the lawmaker sets his wine aside, and then with a delicate finger he kind of trying to choose the right tool for the job while eyeing you.
So you...
Wait, I thought this is a temple of Helm, isn't it?
Yes, but unfortunately...
I thought Helm was one of the good gods. Why would you have implements to torture?
Unfortunately, sometimes we have to revert to drastic measure to learn the truth and exterminate evil.
But I'm telling the truth. You have ways to know without causing pain.
So he looks at you and says,
"How about we fix those tusks of yours first?"
And he...
but there's nothing wrong with them.
He extracts a plier, then he puts out a small glass and pours into it something that smells like alcohol. So he basically sterilizes the plier while looking at you.
"Why did you murder Mordai?"
Because he tried to feed us to a giant spider, and then he summoned a demon, and...
Lies! It is all lies!
I was there. You weren't. How do you know I'm lying?
He says, as he approaches you with the plier,
"This grieves me much."
Why would a priest of Helm be consorting with a man who lives in a temple full of blood?
So, as he approaches to you with his vicious tool, Tal and Roscoe, Azael is next to you with Jahandra and her daughter. Azael looks very, very sick, and he turns to you and says that he will lay low at one of the city's inns. If you need him, he will be there, but he needs time to rest and recover. And a minute after he's gone into the streets of the city, bells start ringing in the temple, and Jahandra looks at you with wide eyes.
Before Azael departs, could I say that that Roscoe has a sixth sense that he's not going to see Azael for a while, and he'd like to sort of try and grab the stone that you can call the dragon with.
Yes. Yep, sure. That makes sense.
Would that be like a sleight of hand, or?
So do you want to simply take it without him noticing, or?
Yes.
Yes. So sleight of hand is the way to go.
Ooh.
Okay. Let's see if he notices something. You manage to easily pick his pocket and retrieve the stone. You obviously see that he is in great pain, and while healed, something is very, very wrong with him. You can hear his breathing like, Darth Vader. He's breathing like something mechanical is helping him with it. And he limps away into the street, and you hold the stone.
Great.
Jahandra says, they've probably discovered the passed out guards, and she looks at Tal.
I look at the woman and go, there is nothing to fear of. Perhaps we should part ways here. Go with Azael. We have other business to take care of. And I nod at Roscoe.
Okay.
Right?
I think we should probably, to be on the safe side, maybe hide somewhere, or
And Dara says, hide? I have a great place to hide. It's right behind the walls. There is a secret place. There is a gargoyle, and if you pull his tongue, a door opens, and there's a small place you can hide.
I can fit into a small place. How about you, Tal?
I'm just glad we're pulling the tongue. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink at Roscoe.
Roscoe doesn't get it, but he smiles.
Dara points, as Jahandra takes her by her hands, Dara points to a place at the wall. There are those stone gargoyles guarding blocked archways. One of those gargoyles, you can see that his head is right up the archway and his tongue is out. You can see that there are places where a small child can climb the wall and basically touch that tongue. And Dara says that the archway basically opens to a small place, a hiding place in the wall. And then Jahandra takes her away.
Quick question. Does she still have the flask, or did she pass it to Tal?
I'm not sure. I think she passed it to Tal last session. If I remember correctly.
You made a joke about being thirsty, that you wanted to have a drink.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So the bells that start ringing find Thokk and the lawmaker are very, very close up together. Thokk, the lawmaker's hand with his plier is almost touching your tooth when the bells start to ring. The lawmaker freezes, and then, like seconds after that, there is a knock at the door. The lawmaker quickly pushes you and covers the wagon with the cloth and pushes it back to the secret chamber, and then he opens the door. A guard pops his head and says, "The vaults have been breached. Many things were stolen." And then the lawmaker simply stares back at you with his eyes, mad, with rage and anger, and then he leaves the room and closes the door behind him, joining the guard.
Am I still wrapped up in the coat rack, or did it let go when he?
No, so you're basically still wrapped
did everything
up.
Else?
You're still wrapped up, but obviously you can try to free yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can get loose.
Okay. Make your check. So bells are ringing everywhere in the temple now. Roscoe and Tal, what are you doing?
I guess Roscoe will scramble up to pull the tongue of the gargoyle, unless Tal really wants to do it. He seemed excited.
Okay. So as you do, indeed the empty archway basically slides, and you can find a small chamber opening up in the wall. So think about it this way: the walls are something like 2 meters thick, so people can walk on them. So you obviously Dara found some secret way into the temple, which he used to play. So you find yourself in a compartment, but it's dark and you can't really see another way out or immediate way out.
I'll go in and light a torch.
Okay. Thokk, you managed to basically break the hold of the that pole. It doesn't chase you around or something like that. Basically, he was commanded to hold you tight, and once you got loose, it doesn't chase you further than that. Your hands are still bound behind your back, and you can hear boots of guards walking, right to left in front of the door, running. You think something has happened, but you're not sure what.
Okay, I'm going to search the room looking for a letter opener or something sharp I can use to cut the ropes that are binding my wrists.
Okay, so make a perception check. And Roscoe, you light up a torch, and you can see that the chamber is blocked from his all sides with stone, heavy stone. But on one of the stones that basically leads to the temple's court, you can see the holy symbol of Helm, which is a gauntlet with an eye embedded into it.
Okay. I guess I'll quickly close the door behind us once Tal is ushered in and say to Tal, well, I don't know about you. We haven't had a long rest in a while.
And when the door closes, you can see that on top of it, there are some like maybe nails or pieces of wood that someone has stuck between the stones, and on top of those hangs all kinds of dolls. You think Dara made this a pleasant place for her, so she hung up dolls she could play with on the inside of the wall. So 6 or 4 of them, some of them, like princesses, the others are knights and kings. So Thokk, you don't see anything immediate that you can use as a knife or something like that, but there was that secret compartment that the lawmaker opened. You think you saw how to open it.
Okay. The dexterity check was to see if I could wiggle out of the bonds.
Okay, so yeah, with the 21, definitely they fall off.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is jam a couple of copper pieces into the between the door and the jamb.
Okay.
If anybody has ever been painted into a room before, you'll know how effective that is at keeping people out. And then I'm going to try to find the control to open that secret compartment.
Okay, so you jam the door, and then you turn to find the secret handle that opens the chamber. You mess around, but eventually you do find the pressure plate, and the door slides open, and you can definitely see the interesting wagon there.
Okay. I'm assuming that all of my possessions were taken before I was let into the room.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything useful
So yeah, you can.
On the tray.
Yeah, so you can definitely use, you know, a scalpel or something like that to, you know, fight or defend yourself and use it as an improvised weapon. There are also 2 flasks of what you think is pure alcohol, a potion of healing, and it is labeled as such. And there's another potion with a label, you know, of a skull. Obviously, you think it's probably poison or something like that.
Okay, I'm going to take both of those.
Okay. At this point,
The compartment that this cart came out of, is it just a small, you know, is it just for the compartment, or is it actually a passage somewhere?
so you think it's just a compartment, something somewhere to hide that nasty-looking wagon and its tools.
Okay. If he's got one secret door in the room, can I look and see if there might be others?
Yeah, make an investigation check, and at this point, you can hear 2 guards trying the door to that chamber of yours, and one of them says, "XR wanted the prisoner at the vaults." And you can hear another voice says, "Yes, sir." And then the door kind of rattles. Okay, so 13. Great. Roscoe and Tal, you are basically holding a torch in a secret compartment inside the walls of the temple. You can hear bells outside, and from your location you can also hear the footsteps of the guards everywhere above you, at the courtyards. They're running places, and you can also hear someone issuing command to start you know, searching the city for the thieves. And you can even hear descriptions of a big Dragonborn and a small Halfling.
Us.
Seems so, yeah. So, what do you do?
Can I try to look around to see if it's just me and Roscoe at the area, or is there like guards running around?
So you think there are guards running around, but they are outside the wall. I mean, you are inside the wall, inside of the wall in a secret chamber. You can feel or hear guards running around above the wall and inside the temple's court and outside. But after something like 2 minutes, there's, you know, it seemed like most of them departed. So maybe there was a rush of guards running around, but then maybe most of them went to search the city.
Okay, Roscoe, here's the plan. We barge in, slaughter everyone, and save Thokk. Burn the castle and run away.
Roscoe doesn't. He's not sure if you're joking. Are you joking? Is that a joke?
That's the plan.
I don't think that's a good plan. I think that's a bad plan.
Still a plan. Do you have a different plan in mind?
Oh, that's no, but I don't want to do that. I think probably what we should do is try and I think I could probably sneak out of the town, but I don't know if that would work for you. You're pretty big.
Out of character, seeing that we've been here for a while or earlier, do I notice that they have like everyone's wearing the same armor and stuff like that? And if there's any other race aside from humans here?
So most of the Helmites are humans, but obviously there are you know, people of different races fulfilling different functions. Like you've seen dwarves and elves, and yes, they are wearing a special uniform. So they have like this breastplate with 2 suns embedded into it.
Okay. I sit down for a while and I go, Roscoe, If you can nab me one armor, we can nab one person. Specifically a big, strong person, like my build. I could get his armor, and we can sneak around into the castle. That way, we don't get much attention from all these people. But that's plan B. Plan A is still my plan of just going here, rushing in for talk. So which plan do you want to go to?
I think Plan C.
Which is
Huh. Actually, while we're talking, could I sort of go rummage through Dara's dolls? Just kind of out of Roscoe sort of generally curious about her dolls. He thinks that, an angel's dolls might have something special about them.
Okay, yeah, sure. You start to rummage through the doors as Tal is speaking to you and trying to convince you to get out and find him a suit of armor. Thokk, the door rattles, and you indeed, with your investigation check, find another door at the chamber, but it's not a secret one. It was simply hidden behind a closet. Obviously, it's a regular door. You're not sure why anyone have put a closet to seal it. Maybe the lawmaker wanted some privacy. And then you can hear the guards outside. Open the door! Open the door! And then someone slamming the wood. What do you do?
Okay. Is the hidden door locked?
So you'll need to basically drag the closet away, and then you can try it.
Okay, so it's a strength check?
Yeah, not a very difficult. It's not a heavy closet, but okay. Yeah, with a 9, you can make it. So you drag the closet and try the door. It opens into a dark and cold room. You can see, basic furnishing like a bed covered with blankets, and you can see a small desk with an unlit oil lamp atop it, and a chamber pot below the bed, and everything is covered with a thick layer of dust. Obviously, this room hasn't been used for years. I'll make a strength check for the guards to see if they can force open the door. So the door holds tight for now.
Okay. Did the door open out into the priest's room or into the hidden room?
Into the hidden room. You can also see a window there, but it's shuttered. There is another door that leads probably to the same corridor where the guards are located. So.
Okay. The reason I was asking was, is it possible for me to pull the wardrobe back into place and then close the door, or?
Yeah, you can. You think so? Okay, so you pull no problem. You pull the closet and then close the door, and then what? Do you sit tight, or do you have any other thing you want to do?
I'm gonna open the window and see what's outside.
Okay, great. So you move the curtains aside and then you open the window. Tal and Roscoe. So Roscoe, you run through the doors. Other than a small and strange phrase we've woven into the dolls, you find nothing. The dolls, each and every one of them has this signature: ain't no Blinsky, ain't no fun. You believe it's the name of the toy maker.
Huh. Okay, I guess I leave the dolls where they are, and Tal, this is I think that maybe we should try and get out of the city, and then send a message to the fat priest, because he was the nice one, to meet us, and then maybe we can barter for Thokk. Maybe we can give him the flask back and some of what we stole, and then they can give us Thokk or something like that. I don't know. I think if we sneak back into the castle, we will get caught. And then we will all be in jail.
But what if during our travel, this is just a situation, don't think it's like it's gonna happen, but while we are requesting your trade, what if they kill Thokk?
Huh. That would be terrible.
I don't want to risk a friend dying for mere paperwork.
Well, no, I agree, but I don't want to risk dying either. um,
We'll do it like what we do at the mercenary guild. I hold up my fists. Rock, paper, scissors.
1 second. I take out my magic spoon, which I don't know what it does yet, and I say, "Magic spoon, is there any other way out of this room besides the door we came in?"
So you hold the spoon and says, "Is there any other way out of this chamber?" And you kind of focus on it, and your eyes kind of focus and defocus as you look at the spoon, and you look everywhere in the room, and then your eyes fall on the holy symbol of Helm at one of the stones that you've previously seen.
Okay, I guess I approach the symbol and inspect it, or see if I can touch it, or if there's any sort of secret handle. Or
So as you inspect it, you have a feeling that the eye can be pressed.
okay, I poke it in the eye.
Okay, so you poke the holy symbol of Helm in the eye, and that stone basically unfolds and open a small kind of think about it as a small opening enough for someone to crawl through the wall. Just a second, okay, guys? Just a minute. Sorry, I'm back. So it's a very small opening. You can probably crawl through it, and you indeed see the court of the temple. And Thokk, at this point where you look around and out through the window, you can see the temple's courtyard and a part of the wall. And as you poke your head outside, you can see like this tiny opening in the wall suddenly opens up, and you are not sure what to make of it. On the other side of that opening, there is an empty archway with a gargoyle's head, with his tongue stretched out.
And how high up am I?
The 3rd floor.
Is the outer wall rough enough that I think I can climb down it, or?
Yeah, you think so. It's basically an ancient, not an ancient, but an old fort. This temple was basically a fort that was converted to a temple from a fort. So definitely places on the wall that were fixed, and you can definitely find some footing to drop out. But at this point, you can hear the door to the other room basically burst open, and you can hear the heavy boots of the guards. What? He's gone!
Out the window and down the wall.
Okay, make a climb check. Roscoe.
Strength or dex?
You can whatever is best for you. Okay. Tal and Roscoe, what do you do?
So I push the eye, and there's this. Where does this tunnel lead? This small tunnel?
So you can see daylight through it, so you think it leads to the temple's courtyard.
So it doesn't really lead out of the town. It seems to lead back into it.
Back into the temple, yes.
Yeah. Huh. Well, Tal, maybe. Yeah, I guess. Either way, if we're gonna sneak out or if we're gonna uh, storm into the castle, we need to get armor or a disguise for you. So I guess we should see if we can find a big guard who's by himself and knock him out. I don't know.
We'll
Maybe
make
we
it
should
work.
go with your plan.
Am I? Do I fit inside this hole, or is it just for Roscoe?
So you might fit inside. It might you might need to go on your belly and crawl out, but you think you can do it.
I go, Roscoe. It might be a better situation if you see where this hole leads. If it's bad, If it's something bad, let's just say I'll tie a rope around you and just pull it so I can pull you out.
The last time I went in a tunnel, it didn't turn out so great. But you saved me that time, so I trust that you will do it again. So yeah, I'll just crawl through and see what's on the other side in the courtyard and report back to you.
Let me tie a rope around you so I can quickly pull you off. So it's much
Okay.
more faster that way.
Great. So you tie a rope around Roscoe's waist, and then the halfling goes into this small tunnel. And Roscoe, you emerge at the temple's courtyard. You can see the temple's walls just ahead of you, and through a window in one of those walls, you can see Thokk climbing down, basically wearing nothing but his underwear. And holding a scalpel between his teeth. So he's basically climbing down through one of the windows.
Oh, okay. I'll untie the rope around my waist, and I will try and sneak along the wall or through the shadows. I suppose it's still quite dark out, but trying to stay unseen and go to where Thokk is, or at least where I anticipate that he will reach the ground.
Okay, so as you go out,
and I will. I guess no. Am I close enough to shout something to Tal?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. Well, maybe not shout, but maybe a loud whisper. Tal, I see Thokk. He's climbing down the wall of the temple. We have to. I'm gonna go and help him.
Do I see him untying the rope?
Yeah.
There goes my plan. Well, I'll follow them.
Okay.
I'll go inside the hole. Yeah.
Great. So you crawl out and find yourself at the temple's courtyard as well. Now, Thokk, you manage to climb down the wall, and as you turn around, you can see Tal emerging from a hole in the wall, and Roscoe is basically sneaking next to the wall towards your direction. They both seem wary, and while it's not exactly daylight outside, there is something strange with the lightning. I mean, you can see shadows, like two shadows for each and every one of you. Like there are two light sources somewhere, but you don't see them. It's not a light or a torch or something like that. Something in the sky is strange.
Okay. I wave at Roscoe and Tal and point back to the hole they came out of and gesticulate that they should go back the way they came, and I run towards the hole.
Okay, yeah. Roscoe is sort of frantically beckoning you with the spoon, sort of in that, and pointing at the hole with it. So yeah, he's very pleased to see that you have the same thought, and he rushes back to the hole.
Can I see Thokk? Because I don't have dark vision. Do I see him?
Yeah, so it's not exactly dark outside. It's very strange. It looks like maybe dawn or sun, either sunrise or sunset, but something is strange. Like there are two light sources in the sky, so two shadows for each of you.
I will wait for Thokk to arrive here in the hole before I go in.
Okay. Great. So you managed to pull all that off without any guards spotting you. So you find yourself inside the wall, and Roscoe, if you press the eye again, the small opening will close. So you are safe, so to speak.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'll press the other eye, see what happens.
Yeah.
If it closes it.
So
Great.
it closes it. So you are now in a chamber with Dara's dolls next to you.
Are we safe here?
Maybe. I'm so happy to see you, Thokk. We were very worried about you.
We were gonna burn the entire building just to save you, to be honest.
Wouldn't that have burnt me too?
No, you won't.
Well, so, we also got arrested by the guards, but we escaped from jail because the mother of the little girl that Kikimora talked about, um, she came and snuck us out, and we captured the demon that Azael had in his chest. We captured it. It's in this flask right here, and we also managed. Yeah, look, here's all your stuff. We got all your stuff back, and I think there's a new shirt. You can wear the new shirt, and there's some bagpipes that you might like, and also, how are we going to survive now? There's no way really out of here. I don't know how to get out of the city.
Did they actually have all of my stuff?
Yes, so the guards, when they stripped you out of your possessions, and the other PCs, they basically hauled it all into 3 chests near the vaults, so you have everything you owned previously.
Okay, I go digging through the stuff and find my rocks and make sure they're okay.
Perfectly fine.
Okay, I'm going to get dressed. I guess I'll try on the new shirt.
Yeah, it fits.
Okay, and that was a +1 chain shirt, if I remember.
Correct.
That boosts my AC to 16.
Huzzah.
Much better. Okay, and I look at everybody else's. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'm tired.
Yeah, I haven't slept in at least a couple of days. I'm just worried that the guards will they'll find our tracks and then they'll catch us in this room. But I could sleep after a meal.
Okay, so if you want, you can definitely bunk in for the night. If you have food with you, you can definitely eat it and rest. So, are you taking a long rest?
Yes, please.
Okay, great.
I have five ration packs. I'll toss one to each of them.
Oh, I have 10, so I'll take out my own food. I'm sort of a Epicurean or a culinary specialist, and I prefer actually my own. No offense, Doc.
Your dried biscuits are better than mine. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Well, mine have some delicate spices, little cinnamon.
Okay, great. So you bunk in for the night. Occasionally you can hear guards on the wall and next to it, but after listening for a while, you get the feeling that they didn't find any tracks. You do hear some conversations about those thieves that escaped, and that the temple is on alert and is sending out bounties to retrieve some of the magical items that were stolen from the temple.
Oh, that reminds me, Thokk. Can you identify magic stuff?
Yeah, I can actually.
Great. I understand that my spoon is magic, but I don't know. And it answers questions sometimes. I ask the spoon a question, and then something happens, and I get an answer, and it's very strange. And also, I found this pretty rock in the vault, and I'd like to know what it does, if it does anything special. So I hand over the stone and the spoon to Thokk and ask him if he can tell me what they do.
Okay, I'll take the spoon and all the other stuff that they took from the temple, and I'll spend an hour casting Identify over and over again as a ritual.
Okay, so you identify each and every one of the magical items that I have written down for you.
And is there anything really special about the spoon?
The spoon is magical, but you are not able to ascertain what exactly it does, if it does anything at all. It's like a faint magical aura of divination. But the magic is definitely not, standard in any way. It's very intrinsic.
Okay, I'll hand it back to Roscoe and say, I can't really tell what it does. I think you need soup.
Huh, okay.
My the battles that I got, it's also included with the identification rests or the 1 hour identification session, right?
If it came out of the vault, then yeah, I went ahead and did it.
Okay.
Okay, so unless you want to do or say anything else, morning comes.
Would it be okay with you guys if Roscoe took the stone and attuned to it over the rest?
Be my guest. You found it.
Okay, so yeah, I feel a little bit luckier than usual.
Yeah, we found it.
Great. Okay, so the morning's guard shift changing wakes you up as boots again walk up and down the wall. So the noise basically wakes you up. You are refreshed and you can gain all the benefits of a long rest.
Oh, nice.
Okay, now that I'm wearing the chain shirt, I'm going to leave my beat up old leather armor just there in the room.
Okay.
I don't want to carry it around.
Great. So, what do you do?
So, do you want to try and sneak out of the city? We don't know anybody here except for Dara and Jahandra. I don't know if they could help or where they live. They just kind of left us here. Um, I know that Azael went to stay at an inn, so they probably already caught him. Uh,
Perhaps there's more answers if we go to town? Question mark.
Yeah, let's head as far away from we can from this temple and find someplace in town. I need a drink.
but everybody's looking for us. I feel like if we walk down the street, we will get caught right away. Um, Maybe I could sneak out and try and find some information or a place to hide or where the gates are. Uh, maybe get a disguise for us. I don't know. I feel like if we just leave, we'll be caught.
So, Thokk, you want Roscoe to go out on his own?
I think if we go out one at a time and try to make our way to the gate, I think we'll be less obvious if we're, not all together.
Okay, Roscoe. So if you want, you can basically manipulate the eye again to get the front door basically open. It faces the streets. So, and basically the area around the temple is not very heavily patrolled right now. So, the temple basically resides in the center of town. It is surrounded by a garden, all directions, and through the front doors of the temple, which you haven't seen, but you will if you pop out your head. You can see there is a long road ending in a pool, something like 400 or even more, maybe 500 feet. So it's like the temple walls, stairs, a long road, then a pool with a statue, and all around are gardens. The gardens end with the city streets.
Okay, so I'll sort of sneak down that direction to the garden, and I guess I'll just kind of see what's there.
Okay, make your stealth check. As you open the door, close it, close the secret door behind you, and sneak into the garden like a mouse on a rug. And then you find yourself at the first building of the street. You can face the temple and then see what caused the two shadows that you have seen earlier. You can see that the sun is in the air, and in addition to the sun, above the temple there is a second sun. Obviously it's very it's close, it's not hanging far up the sky. It's just like another ball of light burning above the temple. And now you maybe make sense of the symbol on the guard's plate armor, which is the symbol of two suns.
Okay. Are there any people in the garden? Are there just kind of people strolling around? Any beggars? Any wise old persons? Any guards?
So you can definitely see guards, but they are at their post or patrolling, and none of them saw you. You can see two gardeners actually working to sculpt the trees and mow the lawn, but you don't see any people resting there or something like that. You suspect that it's too early in the morning, and maybe this is the reason no one is there, or maybe there's another reason, but you're not sure.
I guess I'd like to sneak up to one of the gardeners.
Okay.
And sort of try and cover my face and ask the gardener if they know Jahandra, the candle maker, and where she lives.
He says, yes, but of course, Jahandra is a very kind woman. Her husband died last month. Do you know that?
That's great that you know her. Where does she live?
She lives.
I know her daughter Dara. Dara is a very special child.
And he smiles and says, yes, she always asks for flowers for her dolls, and she always runs around the temple walls, pretending she is a warrior or princess or something like that. And he points down the road and to the statue over the pool, and then he says, this is Ray Street. Head right and past the Spinning Goblin Inn. There's a small house down there. You won't be able to miss it. You'll see here her wax. Damn it. The wax. No containers, barrels. Just outside, all stained and dirty and colorful. So a lot of the kids play there too.
Okay, I thank him and I sneak off down to that location.
Okay. So you pass through you pass at the wall and then the pool and the statue, which looks like a huge man holding a sword, like pointing it up, and that statue faces that second sun that is burning up around you. And when you look at this sun, you suddenly realize something. Those voices that you are accustomed to hear are kind of subdued here. You think that second sun has something to do with it?
It's kind of a shame that we have to leave.
Indeed.
Those voices are really not pleasant.
I need to make a perception roll as you pass the statue and head to the streets. Okay, so yeah, with that perception, so there are trees above the around the garden, and as you move into the city streets, you can see one of the trees move like there is a big bird perched inside of it on one of the branches. So a big heavy bird, not a parrot or a regular small bird. The tree kind of swayed. So that's strange, but that's it.
Okay. I guess I sort of take note of it, but I don't know what to make of it. So yeah, I go to the house and try and discreetly knock on the door.
Okay.
Or even let myself in.
Okay, so you start walking down the street of El Turel. Thokk and Tal, what do you do?
Wait a few minutes and then follow him one at a time.
Okay. So who goes out first, Tal or Thokk?
I'll go.
Okay. So you poke the eye, and then you go out looking left and right, making sure there are no guards. There are, so I need you to make a stealth. Ooh, yeah, okay. So
Yeah, that's not good.
Not good. Yes. So as you go out, you can see two things. First, a guard patrol basically walks around the corner and stares you dead eye in the face, in the eye, and you immediately understand that they recognize or identify you. They probably got your description. At this very moment, you can also see Roscoe crossing into one of the streets, and then a giant owl burst out of one of the trees that surround the garden. There's a halfling riding it, and you can see that owl and the halfling glide very, very silently toward Roscoe. And the guards say, "You, hold!" And
How close is the owl and its rider to the guards?
Oh no, that's like... so it's a big garden, and the trees are on the outskirts of the garden. So maybe, I don't know, 80 feet, 100 feet, something like that.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. But I cast invisibility on myself.
Okay, awesome. Great. So, Tal, you can hear from the outside immediately after Thokk is gone. You can hear two guards shouting, "Hold!" And then, "What? Where did he go?" And then you can hear boots running around, and you can see, Thokk, you can see the two guards baffled. They basically wave their hands and try to find an invisible man. And one of them picks up a whistle and is about to put it in his mouth.
So is it me now who's moving?
Sorry?
Like, am I up to stop this person, or?
So you are basically still in the secret chamber, but you can hear all of that. You don't... I mean, only Thokk saw the guard putting the whistle into his mouth, but you can hear the stop, and then Thokk muttering some arcane words, and then they are
cursing and then muttering a spell. Yes.
Yeah.
Hearing this, is it possible that I could just like take a peek of the situation?
So basically, when you poke the eye, the secret door basically opens. You can poke it and then rush to hold it and slide it slowly if you want. I'll need you to make a dexterity check for that.
For like slowing it down?
Yeah, so it won't simply open in front of the two guards that you know that they are outside.
Can I use my strength and make it into an athletics check?
Yeah, sure.
Oh no, someone is strong.
Okay, so Thokk, you go invisible, and then you can see the door, the secret door opens with Tal trying to hold it in place and slide it slowly, but it doesn't work, and the two guards immediately lock onto him, and one of them bellows the whistle and the other one pulls out a short sword.
Can we roll for initiative to see whether I can act before they get the whistle and such?
Yes. So Tal and Thokk roll for initiative. Let's roll for the guards. Ooh. Thokk is with 14.
12 for me.
12. Okay. So, you can hear the whistle blowing, and one of the guards approaches Tal and thrusts his sword. He hits AC 21, which I assume hits.
Yes.
Okay. So you take 6 points of damage from his short sword. And then the other guard pulls out his sword too. Roscoe, as you go through the streets, suddenly a shadow drops on you. Since you are a very alert person, you look up and you can see an owl riding, a halfling riding an owl, looking at you from, you know, something like 20 feet above you. And two things are immediate to you. One, you know this halfling is he is one of your clan members. Two, he is very, very sick. You can see that he has the complexion of the dead halfling that you found back near Greenest. And three, the javelin that he hurls at you. So he throws the javelin and hits AC. That's a 14.
14 does not hit me.
Okay. So you manage to dodge the javelin that sticks in the ground next to you.
I have this sort of deflect missiles ability, which sometimes lets me catch missiles. Would it be possible for me to actually just catch the javelin and then kind of wave at my clan member and sort of tell him to, you know, come down, you know, sort of, you know, put a finger over my lips and just for him to or her to come and talk to me.
Okay, so do you need to roll something, or is it a simple just we decide that you catch it?
Usually if it does hit, I roll to see how much damage I can reduce it by, and
Right,
if I can
right.
reduce it fully, yeah.
Okay, so it didn't hit, so you can simply catch it, no problem. So you catch the javelin and you wave your hand and putting your hand to your lips, and in response you can see that halfling he simply takes another one and hurls it at you again. This time he hits armor class 22.
Okay, so yeah, I guess I'll try and deflect missiles. So I reduce any damage caused by 14.
Okay, so you take, oops. Oh, so you take no damage at all, but with that, that's interesting. So let me ask you, oh, so you basically deflected it, so it didn't even hit you, or did it hit and then you reduced the damage? Because this javelin is poisoned. I'm trying to understand.
Okay, I guess
So
yeah, I use the first javelin to sort of knock it out of the air as it approaches me and completely avoid it.
Okay.
Click on the name on the feature so we can see the description.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah, so that's interesting, because if it hits and you simply reduce the damage, then you might not avoid the poison damage. So that might be important. Let me just check for a moment. So deflect missile. Okay, deflect missiles, deflect something. You can use a reaction to deflect or catch. Wait a minute.
Yeah, deflect would be it doesn't hit him, so.
Come on. Okay. When you are hit by a ranged weapon and down, when you do so, the damage you take from the attack is reduced. If you reduce the damage to 0, you can catch the missile if it's small enough for you to hold in a hand and you have at least one. If you catch a missile this way, you can spend one to major range attack. Next attack proficiency. So yeah, it seems like it didn't actually hit you, which is awesome. So, but you do realize that these javelins are poisoned, which makes you wonder. So do you want to throw it back at him, or what are you doing?
No, this is my clan. I don't know what craziness is in this person's mind, but I think I'm just going to try and dash away.
Okay.
And hide somewhere from this person.
Great. So make your stealth check. See if you can dodge it. Okay. And let's get back to Thokk and Hal. Thokk, your turn. One of the guards is bellowing his whistle. He has his sword at his hand, and the other one has just wounded Tal. So,
Or not.
Or not. Okay. So you try to skew the god, but you're basically exchanging blows. He's defending himself. Are you going at the one attacking Tal or the whistleblower?
The whistleblower.
Okay, great. Anything else you want to do? I'm assuming you're not invisible anymore, right?
No, the invisibility's gone as soon as I attack him.
Okay.
Is Tal noticeably wounded, or?
Tal, how do you feel?
Feel good.
On a scale of 1 to 20 to 38, how do you feel?
I feel like you should call for more backup. This is what I tell the guard.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, let's put some action behind those words. It's your turn.
And then I look at Thokk and I give him a worried look.
Awesome. So yeah, your turn. Go for it.
Okay. So I will attack this guy in front of me.
Yes. So he's standing, basically blocking your way out of the chamber.
Okay, so what I will do now is I will use my magic, the new weapon that I found.
Okay.
Not stolen, found. And I will smack him one.
Okay.
The asset you've chosen to reallocate?
Here.
Okay.
18.
An 18 hits. So
okay.
Your axe cleaves through his plate armor.
13.
Ooh, 13. That guard goes down.
Can I do it like non-lethally? Doesn't kill him?
Yeah, you can obviously deal non-lethal damage. So you basically club him with the flat side.
Like the back part of my battle axe.
Yeah, so he simply drops.
And then how near is the guy how near is the guy next to Thokk? Or whistleblower?
Very near, you just need to take a step, no problem.
Okay, and then I rush that guy, and I use the back part of my other battle axe for 15.
That's a miss. So it clings on his. You hear a big like thunk on his plate armor, and he is shaken a little bit. But you basically, the whistle falls off his mouth. So
okay.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Bitches get stitches.
Okay, so this guard, after he gouges, between you and Thokk, he thinks you are the scariest. And he takes a step back, but still stabs you while calling for help and basically bellows, "They're here, the thieves!"
Does his step back take him out of melee range for me?
No. Just no.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. So Tal, he hits AC 6. Obviously not going to hit you. And from the walls you can see 2 more guards. They position themselves and then they take their crossbows out, releasing 2 bolts, one at Thokk and one at you. So Thokk, a crossbow bolt for, let's see, it hits armor class 17.
That hits.
Okay, so that's 8 points of damage. And Tal, the other crossbow bolt hits for no, just 7.
Can I can I use this time to look at Thokk and like ask him what's the plan? Or do I have to wait for my turn to ask?
Speaking is free.
Okay, then I ask him now. What should we do?
You should surrender, thieves!
We didn't steal anything, I swear.
while waving your stolen axe in front of him. Yeah. And
he doesn't know.
yeah.
How far away are the guys on the wall?
So think 6 feet up, something like that. No, maybe more. 7, 8 feet up.
Are they within 90 feet of me total?
Yeah.
Okay, I answer Tal with, you take this guy. And I wait for my next turn.
Okay, which is now. Basically the guards attacked, so your turn.
Okay.
Sleep, awesome. So how does it work? Simply according to hit points, they'll go down, right?
So starting with the 2 guards up on the wall, starting with the one with the lowest hit points. If he has less than 21 hit, it's a crappy roll. But if he has less than 21 hit points,
yeah. So one guard is. Yeah, I understand. So one guard falls off and starts to snore at the feet of his friend. So you got 1 down.
Did you cast it at the higher
Wait,
level? As it's
yeah, I cast it at the higher level. So actually, it's a total of 35 hit points that it affects.
Oh, sorry, I thought only 21. So both.
That's what I was. That's what I was looking at.
Okay, and will it catch also the one that Tally's fighting? I'm guessing not.
No.
Okay, so both of them goes down. Great, got it. Oh yeah, so this stupendous. They look at each other before falling on each other's arms and simply starts to snore together. Great. So that was Thokk. Tal, what do you do?
I will do what he says and I'll take this guy out.
Okay.
11?
So 11 bounces against his plate armor. So no, unfortunately not. So yeah, he basically steps again, take a step back, but he still tries to hit you, Tal, and he hits this time armor class 16.
No.
Okay, so you exchange blows. Still fighting, and you can hear more guards approaching the wall. But let's see how many rounds. Okay, so Roscoe, you find yourself in between two stores. You can see the candle maker's shop basically in front of you, but your dashing and hiding basically forced you to find a better cover, and through the alley that you hide in, you can see a man. So think of a small alley, you know, a puddle in the middle, a pigeon drinking from two barrels next to one of the walls, and this old man basically strolling down the alley with a wineskin in his mouth, and he approaches you in a way that indicates that he saw you, which is surprising.
Okay. I will hold a finger to my mouth and take out a gold coin and pass it to the old man.
Okay. So he takes the coin, looks at you, and then he says, you know, and his breath smells of wine, and he says,
"Someone gave me another coin to tell you to find the door to the warehouse below the Spinning Goblin Inn. He said you are a joint acquaintance.
and then he takes the coin and strolls out of the alley.
Oh. Okay. I guess Roscoe is Roscoe aware that Thokk and Tal have decided to leave the hiding place and start fighting the guards, or is he completely oblivious?
No,
to this?
you're oblivious. It's too far, and there was no bells ringing yet.
Okay, so did I pass the spinning goblin on the way? It was on the same street, right? As
Right.
the candle.
Right.
Okay.
You passed it. It's behind you.
Okay, so I will I'll try and stealthily approach the inn and enter.
Okay, make another stealth check. Okay. So yes, you manage to basically find yourself at the back end of the spinning goblin, and indeed there is a small structure there made of wood, a door, a simple door, no lock, stands there, and you can see a lot of barrels full of apples and another. You think it's ale, a barrel full of ale stands there. There is a logo embedded on the barrels of a dancing goblin.
Do the apples look good?
Yep.
Okay, I'll take one and start eating it, and then was I supposed to approach? Did the old man say there's a door in the basement of the inn, or
the warehouse? Yes, you think
yes.
in front of the correct door.
Okay, so I'll sort of knock on the door.
So as you knock on it, it simply opens. It's dark inside. You can see barrels everywhere and crates full of food and all kinds of other supplies, you know, any inn uses. And then from behind one of the barrels, a dwarf stands up. You can see that between his legs there's a big pot, and he's basically peeling potatoes, and the peels fall into this pot, and he says, "Come in, come in."
Okay, I quickly come in and shut the door behind.
Okay.
Say hi. I'm Roscoe. Do you know Leosin?
And he says, "Who the fuck is Leosin?"
I guess you don't know him then. I was told that we have a friend in common.
Yes, a big blue one.
Oh. Oh, wow, he said he was my friend? That's so great. Oh, I'm so happy.
He, kicks a barrel of potatoes to you and says, "These aren't gonna peel themselves,
Oh, okay. I'm very good at peeling potatoes. And I'll just sit down and take out a knife and start helping him.
Okay. So, let's get back to Thokk and Tal, and the guard simply takes a few steps back, and he's still billowing through and shouting, "Thieves! The thieves are here!" And at this point, bells start to ring out, and you can hear more boots. Another guard pops up at the wall, looks down, and then pulls out a crossbow, shooting at. Let's roll for it. Tal, and he hits armor class 19.
Yeah, it hits me.
Okay, so his bolt damages you for 5 points.
I'll take it.
And the guard in front of you charges with his short sword, but hits armor class 6. So, okay, Thokk, what do you do?
I'll attack the guy that's still there in front of us.
Okay.
Of course, I still can't hit anything.
Yep, so he basically blocks your attempt and he says, "Surrender if you want to get alive out of here. You stand no chance against the forces of Helm." And unless you want to do anything else, Thokk, it's Tal's turn.
I'm going to throw Tal some inspiration.
Okay.
Tell him to stop messing around and hit him with the pointy end.
Okay, so that gives him what? An advantage on his next roll?
He has a D6 he can add to either his attack or his damage as he chooses.
Okay, great. So Tal, make good use of it.
Okay. Now I'm inspired, but I'll refrain from killing anyone. I'll attack the guy again.
Okay.
This time for 15.
15 still doesn't hit his armor class.
I will use my inspiration now.
Okay.
So D6, yes?
Yes.
Roll a D6, yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.
5, so 20.
20 total. You definitely smack him with the flat side. And 10 for 10. So he reels, but he's still standing.
I go, here's one more.
Okay, and you do your best, but he's reeling and you missed it. So he looks dazed, but he's still up. That was Tal. The guards. So he basically recovers just enough to try and smack you again. And he hits armor class 14, which I'm assuming doesn't hit. A bolt fires toward Thokk and hits armor class 15.
No, thanks to my new shirt, that does not hit.
Okay, great. But more guards are on the way, and another patrol is bypassing the wall, and you can see 2 more approaching you, but they will get to you only next round. Okay. So, Thokk.
Gotta hit him eventually.
Yes. So a 22 definitely hits. Roll your damage. So are you trying to simply kill him, or Is it non-lethal
Yeah,
damage?
I'm just trying to put him down. These guys, were going to torture me, so I'm not feeling particularly charitable.
Okay, so you skew him and he falls down. The guard above cries out in anger. Tal, what do you do?
So what I'll do is, this guy's still not knocked out, right?
So you have one unconscious, one killed, 2 guards on the wall asleep, and 2 more are approaching and will get to you right after you finish your turn, basically.
Wait, I killed someone? Or
No. Thokk killed him.
Okay.
I look at Tal and say, run.
I knocked this guy out.
Okay, go for it. You'll need a ranged weapon for that, right?
Oh, well.
Yeah, everybody next to us is down. There's a bunch of folks on the wall and more coming.
Yeah.
I still have my hand axe. Can I hurl that?
Yes, but you'll probably won't get it back. But you can definitely do that.
Hurling 1.
Okay.
18.
A hit.
Okay. See the damage.
Oh.
Just a 10.
Okay, still with a 14 you cleave through his armor and he bounces, he falls down from the wall, pretty much dead.
I yell out sorry, and then I run away.
Okay, so with Thokk and Tal running from the guards and Roscoe peeling potatoes, Roscoe, when you two...
Yeah, could I I think it occurs to Roscoe while we're sitting here peeling potatoes. So I have a question. I have two friends with me, and we need to escape from El Terrell. Can you, if I go back and get them here, can you help us?
And he, in response, he basically walks up to the corner of the room, moves a large crate, and opens a door, a secret door, a trap door, and points down. And as he does that, the bells start to ring. So you two hear the bells ringing, and Roscoe, you realize your friends are probably in trouble.
I say, okay, we'll come right back, and then, well, with 6 of us, we probably can peel the potatoes much faster, with 6 hands. So thank you, dwarf. I'll be right back. And then I run out and I sneak back out into the street.
Okay.
Back, toward them.
So as you run out, he basically shouts, "But what about the potatoes?" And we'll stop right here, I think, and find out what's happening. What will happen next week?
Okay.
Okay, great.
Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you guys. So yeah, you're very close to get out of El Terrell, but let's see how you handle the guards. Okay, great. So thank you guys. As usual, XP, and I'll summarize everything in Roll20. If you have someone you think will be a good match to our small group, let me know. And if not, I might take a while to recruit a new member. Okay, maybe in 2 or 3 sessions. That is okay with you.
The more the merrier.
Okay, great.
I think it's sort of a difficult hour for most of the people that I have played with, but I might have 1 or 2 people who possibly could do it.
Okay, great. So let me know.
Yeah, everybody I could think of is either in school or has a job. So
got it. Okay, guys, thank you very, very, very much. Have a great week, and I'll see you next Friday.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.